Last week we started a discussion on market structures. Basically, we said first we define what is a market. There are players, buyers and the sellers. Then some markets operate through intermediaries. Then we discuss the types of markets. We identified basically 4 market structures: the perfect competition, monopolist, oligopoly. Actually, 5 market structures. Monopolistic competition. In this lesson, we do not consider this the monopolistic market. Perfectly competitive market is the market where both buyers and sellers are price takers. They cannot influence the market price. They cannot influence anything about the market or the industry, right? They are price takers. But monopolist is a single buyer in the market. CPC, CB, Ceylon Tobacco. Single buyer, single seller in the market. One seller. Pure monopolist. It is also called pure monopolist. Monopsonist is a sole buyer, single buyer in that market. Single buyer, single seller. When there is only one seller, it is a pure monopolist. There is only one buyer of the product, monopsonist. I gave one example last time. The US government is the sole buyer of all the ammunitions, all the hardwares produced by large number of companies scattered the US, right? US government is the sole buyer, monopsonist. The oligopoly market is competition among few. Banking sector. Commercial banking sector, we have around 25 banks, commercial banks. Then small number of companies are there. Right? Monopolistic competition again is a combination, combination of monopoly and competitive market. Some characteristics are like monopoly market. Some other characteristics are like similar to the competitive market structure. Then discuss. Compare these: perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly. This market buyers, of course, price takers. No way. Poor buyers are always price takers. We don't have any share. We don't have any say. Then, but sellers are price takers in the market. Price maker in the monopoly market. Price maker in the monopolistic competition, oligopoly. Price makers. And entry condition also another important characteristic of when you compare the market structures. Competitive market is the ideal market structure, best market structure, but it doesn't exist in the real world. 100% perfectly competitive market is not there. Nearly competitive market, 90% competitive market is there, but 100% competitive, perfectly competitive market, you won't find 100% perfectly competitive market, right? Entry condition, no entry exit condition. In the competitive market, no entry exit condition. You have to put exit also. Anyone can enter anytime, exit anytime. Monopoly is completely blocked. CPC, one CPC, CB, one CB for distribution of electricity, right? Then they like that the Ceylon Tobacco. Entry free in monopolistic competition. Oligopoly. Some oligopoly market block, some entry is free. Then strategic behavior, these are very important characteristics. Except the oligopoly market, all other market structures, sellers do not behave strategically. In the oligopoly market, seller behave strategically. Then we discuss characteristic of the mainly competitive market. The firm is a price take. We ask sellers why? What is the reason? Why the firm is said to be called a price taker? 2 reasons. Number one, if you take one firm in the industry, its market share is negligible compared to a large number of buyers in the market, sellers in the market. Sellers in the market, your market share is 0.001% of the total market. That is one reason. The other one is each and every, most importantly, each and every, yes. Hello? Can't you hear me? Hello? Each and every, the uniform product, homogeneous product, different product. Please tell me if you can't hear me. Can you hear me? Disturb me, no problem, because otherwise no point of continuing these things. Proceed. Right. Tell me, sir, we can't hear you, we can't see you, we can't see the board clearly. Please tell me. Because in the now I have class with Rolling Stood people, they always say, sir, board is not clear. Please make some adjustment. Sir, we can't hear you clearly. So no problem. This point is right. Because of these two reasons, we call seller as a price taker. Then, characteristic of the competitive market we discussed: large number of firms, homogeneous product, perfect information, free and exit buyers. Now, today we have to continue from this point onwards. Then we ask very interesting question about this. Yeah, right. Few example for nearly perfectly competitive market. That question we didn't discuss. St. John's fish market, the vegetable market, right? Then actually St. John's now the fish market is in Paliagoda. Paliagoda, you have the wholesale and retail vegetable market also. Then there's the paddy market, paddy production sector. Then again the nearly competitive. Remember, no activity, no industry that 100% perfectly competitive, right? Nearly competitive market. That means they satisfy these four characteristics, more or less the same, but not perfectly they satisfy. Some maybe the product differentiation can be there. For example, paddy is when you say paddy is homogeneous, but you know there are Ratukakulu, there are Nadu, there are Samba. Then there's some kind of product differentiation is there. Generally, we say it is paddy market competitive. Right. Now we are going to discuss perfect competition. Now this circle, large circle, is for the industry. Firms, large number of firms, 1,000, 2,000. In Sri Lankan case, paddy market, paddy production sector, paddy producing sector, there are about 400,000 paddy farmers. Right? Take the fish market, vegetable market, fish market. If you have chance to visit the fish market, value of fish market, start operations early in the morning, around 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. Then large number of sellers. One day you must visit this place actually. It is close by to my place. Not usually, but these days, of course, the last 2 years I didn't go there. But generally, once in a while, I go there and buy some fish, right? So, huge market, large number of sellers, right? That is the industry. If you take one firm, now we are going to discuss industry. Industry demand curve, downward sloping. Industry supply curve, upward sloping. What is the equilibrium price? Point of intersection. P1 is the equilibrium price. P1 is the equilibrium price. Then what will happen? Now this firm, industry demand curve is downward sloping. Supply curve, upward sloping. Consumers demand, firm supply. Equilibrium price is P1. Then what will happen? This firm is a price taker. Firm can sell any amount of Q, small Q. Output is small Q. Output is big Q. Any amount of this Q, whether 10 units, 20 units, 30 units, 1000 units. What is the unit of a price? Unit price is P1. If the fish, let's say the P1 is 1000, this firm can sell 100 units, 100 kilos, 2000 kilos, 3000 kilos, so 100,000 kilos, but selling price is 1000. But this 1000 is determined by the market, whole market, interaction between total firms and total, all the firms and all the consumers. Now you understand the difference between these. Then we can say firm's demand curve is horizontal. Industry demand curve is downward sloping. Firm's demand curve, horizontal means it is perfectly elastic demand curve. Demand curve is horizontal, we said perfectly elastic demand curve. But industry demand curve is downward sloping, relatively elastic demand curve. Now, this is the key difference between the industry and the firm. Industry demand curve, downward sloping. A firm is a price taker. Firm faces horizontal demand curve, perfectly elastic demand curve. Agree. A competitive firm faces flat horizontal demand curve. The firm could sell any amount of good at price P1. We said 100 kilograms, 2000 kilograms, 3000 kilograms, 1000 kilograms, the unit price is same. The market determined price. P1 is the market determined price. Market is interaction between all the consumers and all the firms. What is the price elasticity of demand of the firm's demand curve? Horizontal. Perfectly elastic. Elasticity infinity. Price elasticity of demand is infinity. What would happen if one of the firms tries to sell the good at a price higher than P1? What would happen if one of the firms try to sell the good at a price lower than P1? Please read and understand these two questions. Now, each and every firm in the industry sells the product at P1. If it is fish, 1000 rupees per kg. Firm 1, firm 2, if there are 100,000 firms, let's say 250 firms, first firm, price of a kilo, 1000. Second firm, price of a kilo, 1000. Third firm, price of a kilo, 1000. All the industry sells 1000 rupees. Now this question asks what would happen if one of the firms try to sell the good at a price higher than 1000 P1. What will happen? All the 200, the 49 sellers sell at 1000. This guy, okay, I want to make higher profit. I will try to sell this at the 1200. What will happen? A number of firms. All the firms are selling at a lower price. This guy is want to sell at a higher price. What will happen? His market share will come to zero. He will never be able to sell a kilo of fish. All the consumers will buy from other firms. He will have to exit from the market. That is the one thing. Firm cannot sell its product at higher price because all the other firms are selling at lower price. That is the one thing. Second question is a bit tricky. What would happen if one of the firms try to sell the good at a price lower than? That is interesting. Not I'm going to sell my item at 900. 900 rupees. Then he might think, okay, all the consumers come to his place at 900. You think that, but there is a important point is the said competitive firm there is a marginal cost pricing. Fish price is 1000 rupees. The marginal cost catching fish is kilogram of fish is the 1000. Marginal cost pricing. You cannot go beyond the marginal cost price. If you go beyond the marginal cost price, you will be making huge losses. Marginal cost is 1,000. You sell at 1,000. Right? If you are trying to sell at 900 rupees, definitely you will be losing the market. You can't exist, survive. That is the interesting thing. You cannot charge higher price. You will have to exit. You cannot charge lower price. You will have to exit because you will be making losses, huge losses. You can't sell item at below the marginal cost. If you try to sell, you can announce, but at a loss, But the exact price should be 1,000, marginal cost pricing. If you try to sell at 900, you have to make huge losses. Now, these 2 points are very important. That's why we say always firm has to sell at 1,000, at the market price, market determined price, right? These 2 points answers. I want you to answer these questions with the reasons, right? Okay. Now, demand curve is the firm demand curve, horizontal demand curve. This firm's demand curve is small q. Our industry demand curve is big Q, horizontal line. Small q, if there are 1,000 firms, in the q divided by 1,000 is the per firm output, small q, right? This diagram is for a firm. Demand curve is horizontal. Then suppose assumes initially firm produces small q units of the output. What is the total revenue? TR1 is P into Q. This area. P is horizontal distance. The vertical distance is P. Then P into Q. This area is the revenue generated by selling the output. Q. Suppose now firm increases output by 1 unit from Q to Q plus 1. What would be selling price? You are a price taker. You can't charge higher or lower price than P. Selling price should be P. You are a competitive firm. Revenue how much? P into Q plus 1. P into Q plus 1. Can you take the difference? TR2 minus TR1. If you calculate the difference, PQ plus P minus PQ. TR2 is P into Q plus 1. If you simplify, PQ, P into 1, P minus PQ, TR1. PQ cancel out. Answer would be P. Answer will be P. So therefore, what is this? TR2 minus TR1, another name is marginal revenue. When firm increase the output from Q to Q1, 1 unit is 1 unit change in total revenue when output increases by 1 unit. Change in revenue TR2 minus TR1 when output increases by 1 unit. It is MR, marginal revenue. So along this demand curve, marginal revenue is P. Approved. Using one, we have proved is equal to P. Marginal revenue also P. Very important, the derivation. Right. Not only that.
Excuse me, can you explain this again?
Yes. Right. Good. Now this demand curve faced by the demand firm is horizontal. Demand is horizontal. D is horizontal, right? Yes, this demand curve is horizontal. Then we want to know what is MR. We have to prove that MR also horizontal. MR curve is also demand curve is horizontal. MR curve is horizontal. It is equal to P, price. How do you do? Hypothetical example, experiment. We assume initially firm produces Q units, small Q units of the output, selling price P. Is a price taken. Then total revenue is price into Q, P into Q. Then suppose the firm increase output from Q to Q plus 1 by 1 unit. Selling price same, you are a price taker. What is the revenue? P into Q plus 1. Then we calculate, compute the difference between these two, TR2 minus TR1, revenue change in revenue, how much? TR2 minus TR1 when firm increase the output. So simplify, when you simplify these two, substitute for TR2, TR1, answer would be P, price. So MR is equal to P. Demand is horizontal line, it is equal to P. Marginal revenue also price. Marginal revenue also price. Similarly, it can be proved average revenue also P. Demand curve is horizontal, marginal revenue is horizontal and equal to P. Again, it can be proved it is also equal to average revenue. Average revenue can be proved. Average revenue also price. Right? MR curve, AR curve, demand curve, all are, when you say horizontal at price P, horizontal curve. MR. I wanted to prove, it's a homework examination, for homework questions, show that the average revenue curve, faced by a competitive firm, is equal to P, is equal to price, market price. Can be proved, right? Prove that. Right. Now, profit maximization. What is profit maximizing conditions for any firm, whether you are in a competitive market, monopoly market, monopolistically competitive market, oligopoly market? Profit maximizing condition is profit is maximized at the output level where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. MR equals MC. MR equals MC. That is the profit maximizing condition. Now the horizontal line indicates only marginal revenue, average revenue, demand only. Marginal curve is not there. But we know marginal cost curve is U-shape. And MC curve is generally U-shape. Now I have drawn both curves here. MC curve, AC curve. This is the AC curve. MC curve, AC curve. Where is the profit maximizing output? MR equals MC. The point where MR cuts the MC curve. That point indicates, if we come to the draw a line parallel to that down to this till you meet the quantity axis, that output is the profit maximizing output. Why is that? At that output level, marginal revenue and marginal cost curve intersect. MR equals MC. Very simple model. You draw the marginal revenue curve horizontal, draw the MC curve shape, derive the profit maximizing output. Then what is the average cost of this output? Average cost of the output is, you know the output. First we apply the marginal condition and decide the profit maximizing output. Then you go to the average cost curve. Average cost curve, average cost of this output is shown by this line, this point, AC. Point of intersection of this, the horizontal line cuts the AC curve. That is the average cost. Price P1, quantity Q star, average cost of that output is AC. Average cost. Right? Maybe egg price, eggs. Let's say market price of egg market is actually competitive market in Sri Lanka case. Market price is 30 rupees egg. Average cost of production per egg is less than that. 30 maybe it is 25 rupees per egg. 30, 25. From an egg, from one egg, selling one egg, firm can earn this of that much. This average cost 30 minus 25, 5 rupees, like that. Price, average cost. Now, earlier diagram we didn't have MC and AC curve. Now we draw the second diagram, MC and AC curve. Using that, we determine the profit maximizing output. At the same time, we can decide the average cost of the profit maximizing output. On average, how much you have to spend by this to produce this Q, average cost. Okay. Now, what is the profit? Now, next diagram, the diagram I will show the profit. Now, let's calculate this. Put here the down there. It is Q1, P1, Q1 is where point of horizontal line, the vertical line. You have set Q1. I have not indicated Q1. So therefore, P1, Q1, price P1, quantity Q1. Revenue is P1 into Q1. Area of this bigger rectangle is the total revenue. Q1 vertical distance, Q1 horizontal distance. P price into Q, that is the revenue, bigger area. Then total cost is how much? Total cost is average cost into quantity, Q1. AC into quantity, Q1. If the average cost of a bread, of a egg is 25 rupees, if you produce, the seller sells the 1000 eggs, 25 into 1000 is the total cost, average. Average cost 25 into 1000, 25,000 is the total cost. Per egg 25, sorry, per egg 5 rupees, per egg 25 rupees, average cost on average 25 into 1000, 25,000. Then if the market price is 30 into 1000 is 30,000. 12,000 minus 25,000 is the profit. 30,000 is this bigger area. 25,000 is small rectangle. Then area here, this area is the small area, is the rectangle area, is the profit. I will go to the board and show that. You V MC AC marginal. This is the profit maximizing output. Price C equals MR equals demand. Now profit maximizing output is Q. Profit maximizing output Q. Why is that? Point of intersection of MR and MC curve. Average cost of this output is here. Now I can calculate that AC. Now total revenue is how much? Total revenue is price into Q. Total cost is how much? Average cost into quantity. From this we can calculate profit. What is profit? Profit is TR minus TC. TR minus TC. How much? TR. P into Q minus AC into Q. Profit. If you take Q out, Q is out. P minus AC into Q is the profit. P minus AC into Q. P minus AC into Q. That is the profit. P minus AC, price minus AC, that means the small distance, into Q. So this will be the profit. Profit is this. Profit. Understand? Can you see the board? The diagram here it is. Diagram is there. Price into Q, total revenue. Average cost into Q, total cost. Difference between these two is the profit. Profit. Formula is there. That is the profit maximizing output. Determination of profit maximizing output and the calculation of the profits, total profits, using our basic model for a firm in a competitive market. For a firm in a competitive market. Firm in a competitive market. Right. Yeah, now we'll go to right. Now you can understand. Profit is shown by a rectangle. Prove that. It is in the table shown in the blackboard. You have this. The firm's output decision in the short run. Now, we discuss using the MC and MR curve. MR curve, they decide the profit maximizing output. Now we have discussed the firm's behavior in the short run and in the long run. What is the difference between short run and the long run? In the short run, firm has some fixed factors of production. As a result, in the short run, firm has some fixed cost. Whatever the output you produce, fixed cost is fixed. In the long run, no fixed cost, no fixed factors, no fixed cost. All are variable. Firm can hire any number of workers, they can buy any number of computers, they can increase the factory size, expand the factory size, they can change the scope of the business, anything. Everything is possible in the long run. Therefore, in the profit maximizing decisions, this decision is a very important decision. What is the profit maximizing output? Then one can ask, now you know a little bit about economics, you can ask, okay, I will tell you the profit maximizing. I want to know whether it is the short run or the long run. You can ask that question. But you know the difference between that's two different behaviors. In the short run, two different models, short run and long run. You ask him, okay, I will tell you the profit maximizing output. Do you want to know short run or the long run? On the next slide, you are going to discuss short run firm's output in the short run. There is a fixed cost. Now in the short run, what will happen? We have MC curve, we have AC curve, we have ABC curve, we have AFC curve. But I have not drawn AFC here. AFC curve. For this analysis, we need only these three cost curves: MC, AC, ABC. These dotted lines, what are these dotted lines? MR curve. P2 horizontal line MR. Horizontal line P3 MR. That very firm is a price taker. Okay, price could be very high. P1 huge demand. P1 is here. That is the first MR curve, MR1 curve line. Then P2 for price can go up or down. Market price can go up or down. Market price can decrease. Another 1,000 sellers, new sellers into the market. No entry condition. No price drop. P2. What is MR curve? That horizontal line is MR2. Then further drop in let's assume demand decrease. Demand decrease. Now these days, actually, demand was mostly product. Demand has gone down, so the demand decrease. Demand curve shift down. Market price drop to P3. Poor firm. This is a firm. Firm is a price taker. You have to take that price, P3 selling price. That is MR3. In that case, this P1, P2, P3 changes. Yeah, the firm doesn't have any control over this one. They are price takers. If market price is P1, his MR is P1. Is at P1. If market price is P2, MR is at P2. Market price drop to P3, MR at P3. So, how is the price taker? That is MR curve. Now what will happen? MR1, top line. Profit maximizing output is Q1. Why is that? MR equals MC. Middle line, MR2. Profit maximizing output is Q2. MR equals MC. MR2 equals MT. So let's assume this is MR1, MR2, MR3. First line, profit maximizing output Q1, MR1 equals MC. Second, intermediate level, MR2 equals MC, Q2. MR3 equals MC, Q3 at Q3. But MC, we assume in the short run, this marginal curve doesn't have that much of change. You have just started only 1 year period, you can't change marginal cost is same, AC is same, AVC is same, right? That's why this MC curve is fixed. Only MR varies. Now profit maximization Q2, Q3. Then what will happen? If market price is P1, market price is very high. Average cost is shown by the point of intersection of this line and the AC curve. Profit, you can indicate this small area is the profit. Second line, if market price equal to P2, Q1, average cost, you can see the average cost is little bit higher than the market price. Earlier case, price higher than the marginal average cost. Price and the average cost. When quantity is Q1, market price P1, average cost is below that. Average cost is. Market price is P2, profit maximizing output Q2. What will happen to the average cost? The average cost, to find average, you have to go to the average cost curve. Further up, now average cost is higher than the price. Average cost of the egg is 25. Selling price is 20. Something like that. So the second case, you can't make profit. If market price falls, definitely you will be making losses. First case, definitely price higher than the average cost, can make profit. Second case, if price is between AC and AVC, firm cannot make any profit. Where the average cost is higher than the price P2. Average cost is the average cost of production is, let's say, 25. Selling price is 20. You can't make any profit. In the second case, at P2, firm will be making losses. If price is very high, higher than C, definitely you can make profit. Then at P3 also, profit maximizing output Q3. Then profit maximizing output is at Q3. The average cost is again higher than that. Average cost is higher than that. You go to the average cost. Therefore, definitely you are making losses. So in the short run, you have two cases. You can produce the profit maximizing outputs, produce Q1 at a profit when price is P1. But there are other prices. So if you maximizing output, if you produce Q2, definitely at P2 you will be making losses. P3, Q3 also you will be making losses. Now we are going to have another story. Now you might think firm should produce only Q1. By that, at that point, you can make positive profit. Q2 and Q3, your profit will be negative. But this is in the short run. Things will improve. When marginal costs come down, P2 will increase, price will increase. So, in the short run, firm will increase, produce Q1 at a profit. Also, firm will produce Q2 at a loss. That is the short run, that interesting point. In the short run, you will produce, if you produce Q1, definitely you can make profit. If you produce Q2, you will be making losses, but you produce. This is in the short run. Think of you start a business, small shop, retail shop, today. 2 months time, you can't make profit. 3 months time, but still you are operating this. 3 months time, you are operating. Profit maximizing output, producing. Then 4 months time, still price is very low. Producing. You are producing at a loss. That case is possible. Understand? If price is high at P1, you don't have any issue, you produce. Today you start, from tomorrow onwards, if you can get a very high price than the average cost of production, you produce, you can make profit. But practically you can't do this P2, P2, Q2 possibility is there. P2, Q2 combination is there for a long time. 2 months, 3 months, 6 months at a profit, at a loss. Understand? So what are the conclusion? If price is P1, firm will produce Q1 at a profit. If price is P2, come down to P2, firm output will be Q2, but we say firm will produce Q2 at a loss. At Q3 also, firm will produce Q3 at a loss. Two cases. Produce at a profit, produce at a loss. But up to this point, if price P2 falls up to P3, firm will produce at a loss. But if price first falls below P3, less than that, P4, P5, definitely this cutoff point is called shutdown price. If market price goes further below that, firm will not produce. Firm shut down the plant temporarily. So P3 is called shutdown price. P3 is called shutdown price. Why is that? If the market price falls further below P3, firm will produce zero output. Firm shut down. P3 is the limiting point. Up to P3, we will produce at a profit, at a loss, but up to P3. Further, price goes further below, they will produce zero. Firm shut down temporarily. I am not making profit, but still I am producing. Remember in our quiz, we have one question. I am not making profit, but still I am producing. In the short run, this behavior is logical, right? Realistic. But he will produce at a loss up to P3, up to shutdown point. If price goes further below, definitely firm will not produce. Understand how does the firm decide profit maximizing outputs or take decisions in the short run? In the short run, firm can take two types of decision. Produce at a profit, produce at a loss. Yes, they can. But there is a limiting point. They will produce at a loss up to P3. If price goes further below P3, firm shut down the plant temporarily. That's all. Not permanently. Side. Question. Cost data. Now this question is from a past paper question. Cost data for a perfectly competitive firm are given below. Q, quantity Q 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Average variable cost. Average variable cost 30, 20, 15, 30, 15, 20. Total fixed cost 60. Find TC and MC schedules. Total cost and marginal cost schedule. Calculate total cost. To calculate total cost, you want fixed cost, FC. FC is 60. 60, up to 6. Irrespective of the output level, fixed cost is 60. But variable cost, you don't know. We have average variable cost. How to get variable cost from the average variable cost? You multiply output by average. 30 into 1, 20 into 2, 15 into 3, 13 into 4. That is the variable cost. 6 into 20. If you multiply AVC by quantity, you get VC. You can calculate metro, you can put VC and calculate VC. 30 into 1, 30. 20 into 2, 40. 15 into 3, 45. 40, 13 into 4, 52. 15 into 5, 75. That is VC. Then fixed cost. Another row, put the fixed cost 60, 60, 60, 60, up to 60. Okay, can you calculate? Can you calculate TC and MC? We'll spend 5 minutes. Calculate first variable cost. Then put fixed cost 60. Then add these two and get TC. After that, MC. You can calculate. Please, we'll spend 5 minutes. 5 minutes. 10 minutes to calculate completely. After that, it's very easy. It's the 11:20, 11:30, 11:30. 11:30, we'll discuss. Work out total cost and marginal cost. From this table, first we have to EC. Then FC row. FC row, no, you don't have any issue, 60, 66. Then TC row. You calculate, add these VC and FC, get the TC. From TC, you know how to get MC. Please do. Learn 30. Can you spend that? Can you calculate? Total cost. Total cost. Do that. VC. To calculate VC, multiply these two. Get. You know that VC is what? AVC is what? AVC equal VC over Q. Yeah, what is VC? VC equals AVC into Q. Okay, you work out now. Work out. After that, I will come to this. 10 minutes time. Calculate VC, FC, and TC. Calculate VC and write down fixed cost values is simply 60, 60, 60. After that, TC. Then you calculate MC, marginal cost schedule. Right. VC. You can see, I believe you can see now. The variable cost of the first unit is 1 into 30. Second unit 2 into 20, 40. 3 into 15, 45. Like that, 52, 75, 120. VC. Variable cost is, why is that? Variable cost is VC equals AVC into quantity. Then fixed cost is 60, simply 60. Total cost, schedule, add these two. 90, 100, 105, 112, 135, 180, 180. That is the first part. A marginal cost. What is marginal cost? Change in total cost divided by change in output. Change in total cost divided by change in output. Now, for example, 2 units cost 100, first unit 90. Therefore, what is the marginal cost of the second unit? 100 minus 90 divided by 2 minus 1, that is 10. Third unit, 3 units 105, first 2 units 100, 105 minus 100 divided by 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2 is 1, 5. 112, fourth unit, 4 unit 112, first 3 units 105, this minus that. 112 minus the 105, 7 divided by 1 is 3 minus 4 is 1, 7. 135 minus 112, 23 divided by 5 minus 4, marginal cost. 180 minus 135, 45. 45 divided by 6 minus 5. Marginal cost. Now I am going to ask a question. The difficult question. What is the marginal cost of the first unit? Marginal cost of the first unit. Can any one of you answer my question? What is the marginal cost of the first unit? Nandakumar? Natasha? Marginal cost of the first unit, how much? Yes? Shishani? What is the marginal cost? Dilrukshi? What is the marginal cost? Tell me, Dilrukshi. What is the marginal cost? 30. Avindu. Still 30. Good. Why is that? Total cost 90. If the firm doesn't produce any output, what is the cost? Cost is fixed cost, 60. Therefore, cost 90. If the firm doesn't produce any output, 60. 90 minus 60, that is 30. Thank you. Very good. 30. Understand? First unit 90. If firm doesn't produce any output, it is 60. 90 minus 60 divided by 1 minus 0. 30. Good. Now we have completed second answer. What is the next question they ask is what is the short-run shutdown price? What is short-run shutdown price? Remember what is shutdown price? Shutdown price is a minimum point of the AVC curve. Shutdown price is the minimum point of the AVC curve. Remember this AC curve, AVC curve, that minimum point of the AVC curve is the shutdown price. Minimum point of the AVC curve is shutdown price. What is this point? AVC 30, 20, 15, 13, 15, 20. Minimum point of the AVC curve. Shutdown price is 13. 13. Shutdown price. PSD 30. Shutdown price is 30. Next question. Find the profit maximizing output if market price is 45 rupees. What is the profit? Market price is 45. Market price is 45. Question asks, what is the profit maximizing output? What is the profit maximizing condition anyway? What is the profit maximizing condition? MC equals MR. MC equals MR or MR equals MC. Profit maximizing condition. You want to find out point of intersection of MC and MR. That is the profit maximizing output. Right? What is MR? MR is P. MR equals P. MC. So the profit maximizing output can be found using two ways, applying two ways, two methods. Either you can find out MC equals MR, point of intersection of MC and MR shows the profit maximizing output, or you can calculate the point where MC equals 45, MC equals price, MR equals price, no? MC equals P. MC equals P means marginal cost equals price. Price is 45. Therefore, we want to find out the point where marginal cost equals 45. Marginal cost equals price. Understand the argument? General condition MC equals MR. For any firm, competitive, oligopoly, monopolistic, monopoly, this is the profit maximizing output. But this particular firm is a competitive firm. We know MR equals P, horizontal line. So therefore, for competitive firm, profit maximizing output is found when MC equals price. What is this price? Market price 45. Therefore, we have to find out the point where marginal cost equal output level where marginal cost equal 45. Marginal cost equal 45. Marginal cost 45. What is the output level? 6. So the profit maximizing output level is 6. Profit maximizing output level Q equals 6. Understand? For a competitive firm, always we have to use marginal cost equals price. MC equals MR, but we know MR equals P, no? Therefore, marginal cost equals price. Point is the profit maximizing output. Marginal cost equals 45. Price. Price is 45. This point is the 6 output level is the profit maximizing output. What is the profit? Profit we can easily calculate. Total revenue how much? Total revenue is quantity into price. 45 into price. 207. What is total cost? Total cost is there. Total cost 180. Total cost of 16 is 180. Profit? Profit how much? 270 minus 180, 90. That is the profit. That is the profit. Understand the calculation? Please work out this again in your notebook. Understand everything. This is a past paper question. These are typical the past paper question. Typically, you can get this type of questions in the exams, in the paper, right? So if you understand this, you can easily apply this to others. But there's another part that is called graphically illustrate your findings. Graphically illustrate your findings. You have to draw diagram. Very simple. Very simple. I will draw. We have everything. We have everything. I will draw this again. Very simple diagram. The market price is 45. MC equals 45 equals MR. But at this point, 6. Profit maximizing output. MC equals price. MC equals price. MC equals MR. 45. Then you have ABC and AC. Average variable cost. Average variable cost AC. AC is the AC. What is average cost of this output? Average cost of this output is this. Average cost of 6. Total cost is 180. Average cost is 180 divided by 6. 180 divided by 6. 30. It is average cost. Price. Well, total cost is 180, no? Average cost is 180 divided by 6. 30. Right? Then, simple. 45 into 6. 45 into 6 is 270. Total revenue. This area, total revenue. Then total cost is average cost into 6. 30 into 6, 180. Average cost into 6, 180. Now what is the profit? Profit is this area. This is the profit. Simple. This is the diagram. Any questions about this diagram, drawing this diagram? Very easy. Price line, marginal cost curve, average cost. Okay. Now I have to show this the shutdown price. Shutdown price is here. That is interesting. Average variable cost, no? Average variable cost is there. Shutdown price is the minimum point of the ABC, this point. This is the shutdown price. 13 PSD. Shutdown price is 13. Minimum point of the ABC. Why shutdown price is important? If market price falls below that, 10, 12, 10, 9, 8, 9, firm will not produce. This, up to this point, firm will produce. Taking MC equals P, MC equals price. This is the, up to this point, firm will produce. Up to this output level, firm will produce. But below that, no output. No output. Firm will not produce. Shutdown price, limiting point. Right? This is a very simple thing. Let's assume today you start the business, tomorrow you can't make profit. It might take 3 months to make profit. Therefore, up to 3 months, for that 3 months period, you have to produce at a loss. At a loss, right? But if further goes down, you stop production temporarily. Shutdown price. That's the point. Okay, we answered this question. Next slide. Second, also from the past paper, cost data for a perfectly competitive firm are given below. In that case, they are given quantities 0 to 7. Total cost is given. No. Total cost 60, 100, 130, 155, 240. Total fixed cost is prepare AC, VC, MC schedules. Draw AC and MC curves in a graph. Find the profit maximum output if market price is 50. Estimate the total profit, graphically illustrate your finding. This is a homework question. I want you to answer. Take it that an exercise. It's an exercise, homework exercise. Right? This is very easy. Cost, you put 60, 60 up to 7. Then what is variable cost? In this time, total cost minus fixed cost, variable cost. You can easily calculate. Average variable cost, average cost, marginal cost, everything can be calculated. Please do that. It's a good question. You can understand everything about the behavior in the short run. Output decision in the short run. This is also in the short run because as long as there is a fixed cost, that is short run. In the long run, you don't have any cost. This is a homework question. Please try that. Work out. If you can't, I will next week. I will discuss this. Okay. Please remind me to discuss this question. If you can't do that, please try that. Right. Long run. Firm's output decision in the long run. Very easy. We only two cost curves. No AVC, no AFC. We have only MC and AC. At P1, MR is MR1. P2 is MR2. Price can vary from P1 to P2. Why is that? Firm is a price taker. Firm doesn't have any control. If in the market, more suppliers enter and start producing, market price will go down. If demand decreases, market price will go down. So firm has to take that market price and produce. To take that price, it will be MR. P1 equals MR. P2 equals MR2. Profit maximizing condition, same. MC equals MR. Point of intersection of MC and MR. You have to write down this P1 equals MR1. P2 equals MR2. Please write down. Along this line, P1 equals MR1. Along this line, P2 equals MR2. Equals demand, of course. Then, if price is P1, what is the profit maximizing output? Q1. MR1 equals MC. If price falls to P2, profit maximizing output is at this point. If not given, draw that line and Q2. Now you can ask the question. In the short run case, when price falls below the shutdown point, firm shut down the plant temporarily. Now we have to ask question. Suppose price falls below the mean AC, minimum of AC, P3, P4, P6, what will happen? This is in the long run. After 5 years, 6 years, 7 years time. If market price less than that, P2. So the average cost, if market price is, let's say P4, market price average cost is higher than that. Market price P5, maximizing output is given by this point of intersection, these two curves. No? So average cost higher than that. Understand my point? I'll draw that again. This is the case. Long run output decision. Now this is Q1. Now, market price P1, profit maximizing outputs given by MC when MC had the MR curve, this point. You can make profit. At this point, let's say the market price falls to P2, this is Q2, this will be Q2. If price further goes below this point, what will happen? Let's say price is here, P3, what will happen? Average cost of this point is higher. Average cost is higher than that market price. Market price P3, average cost is higher. Therefore, firm will not produce. Firm will produce up to this point. If market price falls below P2, firm shut down the company permanently. Remember, in the short run, if market price falls below the shutdown price, firm will shut down their plant temporarily. You see, the long-term decision is different. If the market price falls below the minimum point on the AC curve, this is AC. Minimum point of the AC curve, market price falls below the minimum point of AC curve, firm will shut down their plant permanently. You go and start another business, selling sweep tickets. Because this is not for you, this business. After 5 years, 10 years, long run, 15 years time, still you can't, your market price is less than the average cost. Average cost is the 25 rupees, but your market price is 20 rupees. After 10 years, no point in producing that. Exit market, stop production permanently. Rent out the building to another person and go and start a new business. Long run decision is permanently shutdown point is there, permanent cutoff point is there. But in the short run, you shut down temporarily. Things will improve. Wait and see policy. Right? Okay.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sir,
Sure.
in the earlier question and this question,
Yes.
sir, we take the quantity of profit maximization where the marginal revenue equals marginal cost. And
Okay.
sir, marginal cost curve is going through the minimum point of the average cost curves.
Yes.
Therefore, sir, can't we get the minimum point of the average cost curve?
Yeah. Is the shutdown price? Yeah. That's what you are showing, no? Asking, no? Yeah. Minimum point. Yeah. Ask me the question, Avinu. Yes.
So in the earlier assumption where the quantity is 5,
Yes.
its average variable cost is 15 and its marginal cost is 23. At that
Okay.
point,
Yes. Short run case. So,
yes.
yeah. Early example, as I can remember, minimum ABC is 13 shutdown point. That is the short run shutdown point is 13. Now, in this case, shutdown, it is also kind of shutdown point is minimum AC, Avidu. Minimum AC. If the market price falls below the minimum of AC, you shut down. You shut down the company. You shut down the. Wait a minute. I will go to this board. Yeah. We are in the board. No. Yeah, we are in the board. Yeah. This is if minimum. If the price falls below the minimum point of AC, you shut down. Earlier case, what will happen? Your AC is there, MC is there, AC is there, AVC is there. Market price. This is the shutdown price. Minimum point of the AVC. 13. Shutdown price is there. Right? Early example, 13 was shutdown point. And this case, P2 is the AC, minimum of AC is the shutdown point. Long run case, you don't have ABC, no? In the long run, minimum point of the AC is the kind of shutdown. If market price falls below that level, you stop, leave the industry. Avindu,
Okay, sir.
yes,
Thank you. Got it.
sorry, you understand, right? Good, thank you. What happened? Right. Now this I will come to this next slide. Now we are going to define next important thing. Short-run supply curve, long-run supply curve. Supply curve, long-run supply curve. But this is interesting case. You have to ask this, no? The in the short run, what will happen? In the short run, you go to the short run case. This one, short run. Firm will supply price is P1, less than that, more slightly less than that. MR curves are horizontal lines, no? Up to P3. If the market price falls below P3, firm will not supply. Firm will supply zero output. Firm will not definitely supply this short run. In the short run, so you move along the MC curve. MC curve indicate the profit maximizing output, point of intersection of Q1. If price is less than that, again point of intersection Q11, Q2, Q33, Q2, up to Q3 they will supply. So that is the supply curve is the section of the MC curve. Section of the MC curve, in other words. Section of the MC curve, but if price falls below P3, firm will not supply, zero output. That's why supply curve of firm, short-run supply curve of the firm is the coincide with the MC curve. MC curve, when price falls below P3, their supply will be zero. That is the supply curve is kink supply curve. It is the MC curve. Section of the MC curve above the shutdown P3. If market price at any point, either with profit or with loss, they will supply up to this point. But if the price falls below that point, so not supply. That is the argument. So therefore, firm short-run supply curve is the MC curve, marginal cost curve, above the shutdown price. The whole MC curve. You can't buy. You find an MC curve, draw the horizontal line, get the point of intersection, But short-run supply curve, you have a limit. It is the MC curve up to this point. After that, supply curve is like vertical line. Supply curve is this red line. Supply curve. Move along the MC curve, upward sloping MC curve, then vertical line. I have written this thing. In the short run, a firm should produce if and only if total revenue is not less than the total variable cost, or price should not be less than average variable cost, minimum point. A necessary condition for the firm to be producing its output in the short run is that MR should be equal to MC. S curve shows the relation between quantity supplied and market price. For the price below minimum of ABC, the firm will supply no output, zero output. Price above AC, the firm will equate price and MC. Price above AVC. That is the first, therefore, you can take down this point. I'll give the point. Yes. Take down this. The firm's short-run supply curve, the firm's short-run supply curve is coincides equal. Is coincides. The firm's short-run supply curve is coincides with its MC curve. With its MC curve, the firm's short-run supply curve coincides with its MC curve above the minimum of AVC. Minimum of AVC. Above the minimum of AVC. The firm's short-run supply curve coincides with its MC curve above the minimum of AVC. Within bracket shutdown price. Within bracket shutdown price. Within bracket shutdown price. If market price falls below the shutdown price, firm will supply zero output, no output. King supply curve. Kinked. Upward, vertical part. Upward, vertical part. King. Continuous. King supply. Long run. Short-run supply curve I have given. Please read that. Long run supply curve. In the long run, as the Ravin said, it is the cut down point is minimum of AC. If market price falls below minimum AC, firm will stop the production completely. Zero output is produced, exit the market. Go and produce another, start another business. Therefore, long run supply curve is the MC curve, section of MC curve above the minimum of AC. That is above the minimum of AVC. So again, that is also kink. Upward sloping, vertical. Upward sloping, vertical. That is a kink supply curve. That is also supply curve. The price taking firm's long run supply curve coincides with its long run MC curve. Long run MC curve above its long run average cost curve. Long run lowest point, minimum of average cost curve. Minimum of average cost curve. The minimum of AC curve, this point. For any price below the lowest point on the long run average cost curve, the firm will supply no output. Supply no output. Firm will supply no output. Why that? Zero output. Zero output is produced. Zero output is produced. So firm definitely supply along this as long as price higher than the P2, firm will decide upon maximizing output point of intersection of those vertical line, horizontal line. If the market price falls below this point, they will not supply. They will not supply. But in the summary, supply curve in the short run, competitive firms supply curve is the MC curve, above the minimum point of the AVC curve. In the long run, supply curve of the firm is the MC curve, but above the minimum point of the AC curve. The difference between the supply curves. This one. Firms earn zero economic profit in the long run. Firms earn zero economic profit in the long run. Now, this is a very important theorem in the market structure, competitive market structure. Competitive market structure. What does that mean? In the long run, firms' economic profit will be zero. What does that mean? I will take one example. For example, let's assume there's a competitive industry, large number of firms. Market price is PS. Then more suppliers enter into the market. More and more suppliers enter. Initially you have 1,000, now 1,500, 1,700, 1,800 more suppliers enter and produce the same good, homogeneous good, competitive market. What is the market price? Market price comes down. More supply. Supply curve shift downward. Market price gradually comes down. Industry. Then what? Profits. When market price comes down, profit also comes down. Profits comes down. Profit decreases. Then what will happen? Firms in the long run, firm will supply up to the minimum point of the AC curve. This market price falls. Why? More and more suppliers enter into the market. PS, PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, PS5. Long run supply curve, minimum point of the AC curve. Profit at this point is zero. Minimum point of the AC curve is profit at this point is zero. In the long run, more firms enter into this market, but in the long run, firms' profit will be zero. When you say profits, be careful. Not the accounting profit. Economic profit will be zero. At this point, economic profit will be zero. In the balance sheet, profit and loss account, you can see some, but economic profit, once you consider the opportunity cost or factors of production, it will be zero. So what is the theorem? In the long run, competitive firm in the industry, one firm will make zero economic profit in the long run. Why is that? More and more firms enter into the market, price decreases, profit decreases. So in the long run, price becomes minimum AC curve. Below that, you don't go. No, your profit will be zero. Economic profit. I'll take one example from the California junction to Padavath, where I am residing. Long time ago, maybe 5 years ago. No, 10 years ago, value to Kadadu, they are about let's say the 10 service stations, petrol station plus service station. You can't service your car, get your car service. 10 service station, right? Now there are around 50 service stations. Initially 10, now more and more service stations have started. Now we have 50 service stations. What will happen? Competitive price. If you talk about service stations, what is the answer? You can't do this business. It's a large number of firms have come to the market. We are not making any profit. You can't make. It's very difficult to make profit. You don't have profit. No profit at all. But they are lying to you. Why is that? If you can't make any profit, you will not be in the market. If you will be in the market as long as you can make profit, accounting profit. Economic profit will be zero. But when more and more people enter into the market, the profit decreases. In the long run, economic profit will be zero. But still you are making accounting profit. Balance sheet, profit and loss account shows some profit. The P&L account and the balance sheets are prepared using the accounting approach, not the opportunity cost approach. Therefore, so this is not profitable. More firms have come to this market in service station. Normal answer. That doesn't mean they are making losses. They are not making economic profit, but accounting profit definitely they are making. The general answer, right? if you talk to any of the small sector, small and medium term this industry, they say that this is a normal complaint. Business කරලා වැඩක් නැහැ. ඒකේ profit නැහැ. වැඩක් නැහැ. They are making profit. If you are not making profit, you are not will not be in the business. Understand? So this economic profit, zero. That may be true. So therefore, using these three diagrams in short run framework, long run framework, it can be shown that in the long run, market price comes to the minimum of the AC curve, your economic profit at zero. That doesn't mean you are not making profit, you are making accounting profit. A competitive firm could make economic profit only in the short run. In the long run, its economic profit will be zero. Will be zero. How this using the framework? That is the question. You can answer. Initially, you starting point is PS. Then more and more suppliers enter. Supply curve shifts. Market price falls. Market price falls. In the short run, you are making profit, but in the long run, the price will come to this minimum point of the AC curve. Profit will be zero. Yes. This question, quantitative question, I'm not going to answer this question. If you want, you are mathematical. If you are okay, you can answer this question, right? This is the question one. The question one: why do firms enter an industry when they know that in the long run profit will be zero? You enter. In the long run, we say economic profit will be zero. Why do they enter? Because even though in the long run economic profit will be zero, still you can make accounting profit. That's why they enter. Your balance sheet, profit and loss account, you can make profit. You can cover your the overhead cost and still some pluses. Good question. You know, in the long run, your economic profit will be zero, but still you enter. Why? Your accounting profit will be positive. Second question, please try. Those you have done mathematics, you can easily answer this question. Cost curve is 100 plus Q squared. The fixed cost is 100. Marginal cost, you differentiate this cost with respect to Q. If the market price is 60, profit you can calculate. Short run shutdown price you can calculate. Try that. But this is not from the past paper question. This type of question usually they don't ask. We can try exercise this question, and I gave you another one. So please try those two questions. If you can't work out, you can't understand, please tell me next week. First thing I will start. Sorry. I will first discuss these two questions, right? Okay. Now we will move to the next the slide. Sorry. Other end of the market structures. This we discuss perfectly competitive market. Characteristic of the perfectly competitive market. Determination of profit maximizing output. The short difference between short run behavior and the long run behavior. Then we discuss short run the supply curve and the long run supply curve. Finally, we said firm in a competitive market can make economic profit only in the short run. Long run economic profit will be zero. Now we are moving to the other end of the market structure. What is that? Pure monopoly. Single firm supplies the entire industry output. CPC, Ceylon tobacco. CB, distribution of the electricity, right? LECO is there, but LECO is not coming, but CB is a monopolist. Monopoly market. Tobacco is a monopoly. It's a case of cigarette production and distribution, right? Pure monopoly. Monopolist market. Pure monopoly market. Now, these days, from today's example, can you give me pure monopoly? Pure monopoly. Pure monopoly. Yes. Now, for example, I think this the vaccines, different vaccines, Moderna, Pfizer, AstraZeneca, then Sinopharm, the Sputnik, all these the five. Yesterday they said there's another Chinese one. The yes, the five vaccines. Who is the buyer? Government. Government purchase using their money. They purchase. They go have formed some tender boards, and those from actually initially we got some. We all these things are coordinated by the WHO. WHO and through WHO we go call tenders and get the firm is selected, then by the government. And all these things come to the state pharmaceutical corporation. All these purchases coming to pharmaceutical corporation is the monopoly. Distribute, sales, distribute over various points. Pharmaceutical corporation is the pure monopoly, right? They don't sell, pure monopolies. Very controversial things happen last few days. Now the antigen, the PCR, so you have only one company has the monopoly. They have allowed, they are permitted to bring those things and the sell that to another institutions. One company has the monopoly, pure monopoly. When the monopoly, what's wrong with the monopoly? Monopoly is price setter. Pure monopoly is the price setter. When you say good is 60 rupees, he can say it is 90 rupees, 100 rupees, 200 rupees, 2000 rupees. We don't have choice because he's the price setter. He's the price setter, right? Monopoly market characteristics. Introduction, pure monopoly. Like in the competitive market, we got assumptions. Then we derived MR, AR, and demand curves. Profit maximizing profit maximizing output. Discrimination. That is very interesting. That is very interesting. If you are a monopolist, you can sell the same item at different prices. That's discrimination. Electricity board. Households, they sell electricity to the households at a lower price than selling to the industries. Same unit price, industries are paying higher price than the households. Price discrimination. Price discrimination. Right. If you are a prime customer of a bank, good customer, maintain a very good track record, you have defaulted loans, that means you are a prime customer. Subprime customer. That's good. Subprime customer. The 2008-9 period, US had a financial crisis. The main source of this the financial crisis was granting loans to subprime customers. Subprime customers at a subprime interest rate. Once they can't repay those loans, financial sector collapses. Prime customers are good customers, right? So the prime customers are the good customers, right? The price discrimination is the I said the price discrimination. Yes, good customer, prime customer. Yeah. The now next other example for price discrimination. If you are a prime customer, when you come to the bank, buy some dollars. You are entitled to buy some dollars for your education or the current expenditure is allowed, no? Education, if you want to buy some dollars, bank manager has a discretion. Bank manager can give 3-4 cents difference for a prime, if you are a prime customer, when prime customer comes and want to buy dollars, $1,000, the manager might say, okay, 205 rupees. So you are a prime customer. Subprime customer, 210 rupees when you buy dollars, right? So that is price discrimination. Some prime customers, bank manager discretion. In that case, bank manager has the monopoly power. He can give favorable rate to the prime customer and the other normal customer, different one, not to own customer. Price discrimination. Selling the good or service at two different prices for different consumers. Price discrimination. We'll discuss this at the end of this lesson. Who's a monopolist? A monopoly is a single firm that serves an entire market. A single firm faces the market demand curve. See, determine market demand curve, whole market demand, but supplier see this demand curve. Supplier can decide, if I produce this much, this will be the selling price. If I cut the market price, this much of quantity can be sold. No other competitors. Single firm faces the market demand curve for its output. Using its knowledge of this demand curve, monopolists make decision on how much to produce. I know the demand, I can see. If I want to charge 100 rupees, I should produce this much. If I want 200 rupees, I should cut the output to this much. Demand curve is there. Competitors. Unlike the perfectly competitive firm's output, the monopolist output does not have close substitutes. Very interesting. Another condition to have a monopolist. No close substitute. Electricity. No close substitutes. You can say biogas, nuclear power, wind power. A large number of items are there as a substitute for electricity. They are not close substitutes. Close substitute for electricity. Now I am asking you, how do you measure the two goods A and B are close substitutes or not? What is the economic measurement for substitutes? Decide the substitutes, whether A, B substitutes or complement. What is the economic concept? Economic concept is what? Measure. You have a measure. Decide whether two goods are substitutes or complements. What is the economic measure? We have discussed. You can tell me. What is the economic concept? Tell me. Tell me. Yes. What is the economic concept? To decide two goods, tea and sugar, substitutes or complement. Tea and coffee, substitutes or complement. What is the economic measurement? Indicator. Cross price elasticity of demand. If the cross price elasticity of demand between two goods is positive, we say that those two goods are substitutes. If the cross price elasticity between two goods is negative, we say that those two goods are complements. But in the case close substitutes, they are positive value. Positive. Close substitutes mean they are huge. 1,000, 2,000, plus 3,000, plus what? Value is very high. Plus 0.5. There are two goods, A and B. Substitutability, cross price elasticity plus 0.5. C and D plus 1,000. A and B plus 0.5. C and D plus 1,000. Both are AB substitute, C and D substitute. What are close substitutes? AB close substitutes compared to CD. CD close substitute compared to AB. Plus and large value is very high. Also, unlike the perfectly competitive firms output division, the monopoly output division determines the same price of the good. Now, the one thing is, to have a monopolist, you have to share the entire market. You face the entire demand curve. Number two, no substitute for the product you produce. No substitute. There may be substitute, but biogas and electricity substitute, nuclear power and substitute, wind power and electricity substitute, right? But they are not close substitute. Other reason is you cannot enter. Entry is completely blocked. Competitive firm, you can enter. Entry is completely blocked, right? Decision, the firm is called price setter. Firm can decide the selling price by taking the demand curve. Firm is a price setter. Entry is completely blocked. No close substitute for the product. Remember the assumptions of competitive market. These are very funny, very interesting conditions. There is a price maker, price setter. Yeah, price setter. There are no close substitute for the assumptions. Either technological or legal barriers completely blocked. Sellers does not behave strategically. Buyers are price takers. Now see the competitive market. Competitive market, seller is a price taker. Competitive market, firms' products are perfect substitutes. One firm produces a perfect substitute for the output of the other firm, but here no close substitute. Competitive market. No entry barriers. Entry is free in the competitive market. Entry and exit free. But competitive monopoly market, entry is blocked. Technological or legal barriers are there. Seller does not behave strategically. Competitive market also, seller does not behave strategically. No strategic behavior. But in the case of pure monopoly, you are the only seller. So why should you behave strategically? No strategies. You are no competitors. But in the competitive market, there are competitors. Still, you don't behave strategically. You take your own decision independently. Oligopoly market, they take strategic position, strategic behavior. Buyers in both markets, poor buyers are price takers. We are price takers. Wherever we go, we are price takers. No issue, no problem. Right? Okay. Now we'll stop this point. The next week we'll discuss the model. Please read this maximization example. Right? Price discrimination. We'll finish this next week. Right? Okay. Please do this two exercises. If you can't understand, please ask me. Next week I will do the two exercises, homework exercises, and then continue. Okay. See you next week. See you next Saturday at 10:30. Thank you. Thank you very much.